Hi, I'm Jessica, a 55-year-old financial planner. As I move through my morning routine, sorting through bills and budgets, I can't help but reflect on my life, a life deeply intertwined with my husband, Anthony. His magnetic charm and troubling gambling habits have transformed our marriage into a delicate balance of love and financial struggle. When I married Anthony, I knew about the debts he had inherited from his parents. His father, Mr. Jacob, now 70, and his mother, Emma, 66, have always had a reckless approach to money, a tendency they unfortunately passed down to Anthony. Despite the cautionary tales from friends and the whispers of doubt in my mind, I held on to faith in our partnership. I thought I could help Anthony regain control over his finances and navigate us through these turbulent waters. Each morning, I set aside money to gradually chip away at our mounting debts. The stark numbers on my spreadsheets tell a story of resilience. With diligence that would have made my mother proud, I tackle Anthony's debts, applying the financial lessons she instilled in me from a young age. Today is no different. I'm ready to face our financial struggles with unwavering determination. However, the burden of these financial obligations weighs heavily on me, and as I glance at our family photos lining the walls, I can't help but worry about what lies ahead. The dream of a peaceful retirement feels increasingly out of reach with every passing day. As I close my laptop and prepare for the day ahead, a flicker of hope remains, hope that my efforts will yield results, hope that we can rise above the shadows cast by his family's past. It's this hope that fuels my fight for a brighter tomorrow. My mornings are often punctuated by phone calls from Anthony's parents. Mr. Jacob frequently reminisces about his old gambling days, lamenting lost opportunities while subtly hinting at a need for money. Emma echoes his sentiments, reminiscing about times when their finances were abundant. Their influence on Anthony is both undeniable and troubling. Today, the phone rings again. Anthony speaks in hushed tones, concern etched across his face. Mr. Jacob has suffered a minor stroke, and the news tugs at my heartstrings. Regardless of our struggles, they are still his parents. As Anthony hangs up, our eyes meet, his filled with a silent plea for understanding and support. We both know this will lead him to want to help them, not just emotionally, but financially. As the weeks roll on, Anthony's visits to his parents become more frequent. Each trip creates a greater distance between us, his mind clouded by the manipulative tales spun by Mr. Jacob and Emma. They paint a bleak picture of medical bills and living expenses they cannot manage on their pensions. I see the trap unfolding, but my warnings fall on deaf ears. Anthony finds himself caught between his loyalty to them and his responsibilities toward our future. Every conversation about finances turns into a battlefield. Influenced by his parents, Anthony pushes for more generosity and support. I stand my ground, advocating for prudence and reminding him of our own pressing needs and the debts we are still trying to manage. This ongoing struggle further strains our marriage. In this chapter of our lives, Mr. Jacob and Emma's influence looms like a shadow over our home. Their needs, whether real or exaggerated, are slowly draining the peace from our lives, turning every decision into a tug-of-war between past obligations and future stability. As autumn deepens, the leaves fall like a golden blanket, and Anthony's visits to his parents become almost daily rituals. Each departure is tinged with tension, each return cloaked in a heavy silence that suffocates our home, eroding the warmth we once shared. One evening, as daylight fades, Anthony comes back with a troubled expression, signaling bad news. He reveals another request for money. His parents' medical expenses are supposedly escalating. The urgency in his voice tugs at my heart, but a nagging doubt lingers in my mind. With a reluctant heart, I agree to yet another withdrawal, watching our savings dwindle like the autumn leaves. The pattern of requests becomes predictable, urgent, desperate, and increasingly large. Anthony's explanations grow vague, and his trips to the bank become more secretive. My suspicion intensifies, compelling me to uncover the truth behind these supposed medical emergencies. One crisp morning, driven by this gnawing doubt, I decide to follow Anthony. From a distance, I watch as he meets not only his parents but also familiar faces from his gambling past. Their interaction is animated, filled with the exchange of envelopes and hurried nods. It dawns on me that this isn't just about medical bills. It's a calculated manipulation exploiting familial ties to further a hidden agenda. Returning home, my heart heavy. The painful puzzle pieces fall into place. Anthony, once again entangled in the world of gambling, has succumbed to a scheme crafted by those he trusted most. As I sit alone in the dimming light of our living room, I realize I must prepare for the possibility of a deeper betrayal. This deception cuts deeper than any financial loss. It threatens the very foundation of our trust. One brisk morning, just before dawn, I notice Anthony is up unusually early. His movements are quiet, almost meticulous, a demeanor I haven't witnessed before. As he prepares coffee, I catch a glimpse of his hands trembling slightly, tension evident in his posture. The air feels thick, saturated with unspoken concerns. "Jess, we need to talk about something," he begins, avoiding eye contact. His voice wavers, a stark departure from his usual assurance. He reveals that he's discovered the savings account I've been maintaining, the one holding $300,000, set aside as our safety net. His gaze flits around the room, never quite landing on me, sending a chill down my spine. "What about it, Anthony?" I ask, striving to keep my voice steady. He swallows hard, and his words spill out in a frantic rush. "I need it, Jess. It's the only way. I can finally settle everything once and for all." The room spins slightly as I digest his words. Betrayal cuts sharply, its edge cruel and cold. But I'm ready. Last night, after confirming my suspicions about Anthony's gambling, I transferred our savings to a secure online account, well beyond his reach, oblivious to my actions. He continues, "I'm taking the savings. I have to do this." His proclamation hangs between us, stark and definitive. I nod slowly, masking the tempest brewing inside me. "Okay," I reply quietly, watching as he grabs the keys to the safe and my wallet. He doesn't notice the absence of fear in my eyes. Hours later, the house is painfully silent. I find the divorce papers on the dining table, stark and official. The vault stands open, stripped of its contents. But it doesn't matter. The real money is safe, untouched. Sitting alone, I turn on the pet camera footage. On the screen, I see Anthony and his parents rifling through the papers and empty boxes, their faces etched with confusion and frustration. They don't understand. They never anticipated this move. As the sun climbs higher, casting light on the remnants of a life I thought I knew, I feel an unexpected relief. The betrayal, while painful, has not defeated me. It has freed me to begin anew, unshackled from the deceit that had unknowingly bound me for far too long. The morning sun spills a soft glow across the room, its warmth a stark contrast to the turmoil inside me. I sit quietly at the kitchen table, the remnants of Anthony's betrayal laid out before me, the empty safe, his missing wallet, the cold official divorce papers. Amidst the chaos, I cling to a secret that anchors my resolve. Earlier, Anthony had expressed his intention to leave, believing he could take our life savings with him. Little did he know that I had already moved the $300,000 to an inaccessible online account. The vault he thought held our future was empty, a fitting metaphor for the hollow shell our marriage had become. As he left, I remained composed, a silent observer to the unraveling of a life we had built together. Now alone, I activate the pet camera, not out of mistrust, but as a precaution to monitor our home while I'm at work. The screen flickers to life, revealing Anthony and his parents confronting the reality of their plan, the vault baron. Echoing their shock and disbelief, their expressions shift from confusion to frustration as they search every corner of the safe, unable to comprehend the emptiness they find. I watch, bitter satisfaction mingling with the ache of betrayal. They had not only underestimated my foresight but also my resolve. Now, with the truth laid bare and the future uncertain, I take the first steps toward independence. The legal groundwork for the divorce is straightforward. The evidence of his attempted theft is irrefutable. As I gather the documents and file the necessary reports, I feel the weight of the past years begin to lift. The betrayal intended to break me has, instead, liberated me. As I watch the morning light grow brighter, illuminating paths once shrouded in doubt and deceit, I prepare to move forward alone, stronger and unburdened by the weight of unshared secrets and broken promises. The house is quiet, a stark reminder of the void Anthony's departure has left. Yet within the silence lies newfound clarity, a resolve to reclaim what is rightfully mine, both financially and in spirit. I spend the morning at the lawyer's office, The crisp sound of pages turning as we review the divorce papers. With each signature, I sever another tie to Anthony. The evidence of his theft is meticulously laid out: copies of bank statements, the empty safe, and the video footage from the pet camera. It's all undeniable. And my lawyer assures me that the case for divorce and claims for emotional distress are strong. After the meeting, I drive home, the route familiar yet transformed, as if I'm seeing it all for the first time, as a new woman. I pull into the driveway, feeling the weight of my wedding ring. With a decisive motion, I slide it off. It feels heavy in my palm, laden with memories and broken promises. At home, I begin the process of reshaping my life. Financial documents are reorganized, personal accounts secured, and new investments planned. Each action is a step toward independence, a declaration of my ability to survive and thrive on my terms. I reach out to community groups, reconnecting with old friends and engaging with new ones. It's time to rebuild, not just my finances, but my social life, my personal interests, my inner peace. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across the garden I once tended with Anthony, I realize this is not just an end but a beginning. A betrayal intended to strip me of everything has instead paved the way for a future where I am the sole architect of my fate. The early morning light filters through the curtains, casting a warm glow over the kitchen where I now sit alone, sipping my coffee. The silence of the house, once heavy with betrayal, now feels peaceful and filled with potential. Today marks a significant chapter in my life, the finalization of my divorce from Anthony. With the divorce decree in hand, a document that officially ends our union, I feel a profound sense of relief. It's done. The legal battles, the painful revelations, all behind me now. I take a deep breath, allowing myself to truly embrace the freedom that comes with this new status. I spend the morning reorganizing my living space, removing remnants of Anthony's presence. Each item sorted and boxed feels like shedding layers of a past life. I donate some, sell others, and keep a few cherished memories that remind me of who I was and who I've become. In the afternoon, my son Stephen comes over. Seeing him walk through the door, a young man who has chosen to stand by me, reinforces the strength of our bond. We talk about the future, his plans, and my aspirations. Our conversation is filled with hope and mutual respect, far removed from the deceit that clouded recent years. Together, we decide to host a small gathering in the coming weeks, a celebration of new beginnings. Invitations are sent to close friends and family who supported me through this ordeal. It's more than a party. It's a statement that I am moving forward, embraced by a community that values truth and integrity. As the day winds down, I step out into the garden, where the last light of day caresses the blooms that have thrived despite the neglect. I tend to them, pruning and nurturing, much like I am doing with my life. This garden, like me, will flourish again, rooted in the strength and resilience that come from surviving the storm. The betrayal that once threatened to break me has instead shattered the chains that bound me. Now, I look forward to crafting a life filled with authenticity and joy, building a future on my terms, one day at a time.